Streamsong Red is ranked the #1 public golf course in Florida and the 19th best public golf course in America, according to Golf Digest, even though it looks very different than what one would expect of a Florida golf course. In fact, it wouldn't be out of the question to say Streamsong more closely resembles that of a Scottish or Irish golf course than one that we would normally see in Florida. So what's going on, golfers? Karsten here. I cannot wait to tell you about my incredible experience playing Streamsong Red. And you can help me out a ton by subscribing because it helps my videos get featured in YouTube's algorithm. If you do subscribe, leave me a comment and I promise I'll respond to every single comment that I get on this video. All right, enough of that. Let's dive in. There are several things I love about Streamsong Red, and the first is the extremely unique land. When one thinks of Florida golf, they likely think of a lusciously green golf course with tons of water and palm trees, perhaps like a TPC Sawgrass in Jacksonville. And this is definitely not the case with Streamsong. In fact, did you know that palm trees aren't even native to Florida? This totally blew my mind. It is a signature of the Streamsong Red's architects Bill Coore and Ben Crenshaw to build environmentally friendly golf courses that are true to the land, not move a bunch of dirt that disrupts the wildlife and turns the course into something that it's not. What makes the land of the Red course so unique is that it was originally an old phosphate mine. In fact, Ben Crenshaw says that the Red course is some of the most unusual, interesting, and dramatic landforms that he's ever encountered, which for someone who's played and designed some of the world's best golf courses, this is sure saying something. The elevation created by the phosphate mines really creates some scenic views that feature many giant sand dunes, white sand bunkers, native vegetation, and water reservoir. This includes all the wildlife that one would expect with this terrain, as the starter warned our group not to look too hard for wayward golf balls, as there are plenty of scorpions, snakes, water moccasins, and of course alligators on the property. A friendly reminder that Florida golf is very different than that of the Midwest. The second thing I love is the greens, though it's a love-hate relationship. These were definitely one of the hardest, if not the hardest greens that I've ever played, comparing only to Chicago Golf Club, Erin Hills, and The Loop. They often feature lots of undulation, different tiers, and roll at an extremely fast pace that only get faster the more they dry out. Even with a ton of play though, I couldn't believe how good of condition they were in and how true they roll. Though it is easy to rack up green in regulations out here due to the sheer size of the greens, the real test is being able to capitalize on them. And for anyone more than 30 feet away from the pin, I wish you the absolute best of luck not to 3-putt. I am ashamed to say it, but I had 4 3-putts alone on the front 9. These greens are tough. My favorite green is on hole number 16, which features a Barrett style. And for those that aren't total nerds like me that read about golf course architecture in their spare time, a Barrett style is one with a big swale in the middle of the green, usually running through the middle, and at Streamsong, the 16th hole has a 6-foot swale in a 72-yard green from front to back. Lastly, I love the amenities at Streamsong, and they are perfect for a great golf trip. Here are some of my favorites. Streamsong also has its own giant putting green near the Black course called the Gauntlet, and a 7-hole practice area called the Roundabout. Sadly, I didn't have time to check them out, but I heard each of them are great. They also have a very nice range and even valet service that will drive you out there. Streamsong also is a resort, so there are plenty of amenities to recover from a long day of golf or keep your spouse and kids busy while you're out golfing. But perhaps the best of all is the award-winning food at the Turn, as Streamsong Red has some of the best barbecue and is known for its award-winning brisket. 2 other things to note. First one is take a caddy. This course is hard enough as is, and they are definitely worth getting. I am a 6 handicap and was an elite caddy at some tough courses, so I thought I wouldn't have a problem walking the course or reading greens. Though it is a delightful walk, don't make the mistake that I did, especially if it's your first time playing here. Unless you're a scratch golfer, you will likely never figure them out on your own. Gio and Tiny are 2 of the best caddies, so be sure to put in a request for them. Number 2, make sure you fill up on gas before you get there. Streamsong is in the middle of nowhere with no gas stations close, and it is better not to risk it. So whether you stay on the property or just come for the golf, Streamsong creates a world-class experience from start to finish where you will be treated like kings and queens. Now to the signature holes, which is the par 3 number 16 and the other par 3 number 6. The par 3 hole number 16 is the most picturesque hole on the property, as it also has a gorgeous scenic overlook of the par 3 hole number 7 on the blue course. Don't let the beauty fool or distract you, as this is definitely one of the toughest holes on the course, where you hit over water with a 7-foot front bunker to a huge Biarritz green that slopes from back to front. And I can say from experience, if this pin is back or middle, you do not want to be above the hole on this one. The par 3 number 6 is a close second place to the most picturesque hole on the red course, as the green is in this valley of a couple sand hills and you tee off hitting over the water. The green is absolutely massive with some serious undulation, and I would bet that anything outside of 25 feet on this hole is a very likely 3-putt. There are so many great golf holes at Streamsong, I couldn't just choose one honorable mention. So honorable mention number 1 is the par 4 hole number 15. This is the toughest hole on the golf course and the number 1 handicap, playing 453 yards from the black tees uphill. This is a doozy with a bit of a false front, especially on the left side, and just a nasty green. My other honorable mention is the par 5 hole number 2. Perhaps I'm biased to it because I did eagle this hole, but regardless, the land and architecture is stunning here, with steep hills hugging the right side of the fairway. Let's talk about the value of playing out at Streamsong, and anytime we're talking about value, it's helpful to get some comparables. We'll start by looking at some of the other top courses in Florida. TPC Sawgrass's Stadium course can range from $450 to even as much as $600 during the peak season. Trump National's Blue Monster can be as much as $450 during peak times. Even many of the other top 20 golf courses are in that $350 to $500 range. Streamsong's pricing depends on the season and if you are staying at the resort. For resort guests, there's a peak rate of $260 in the busy season and a low of $105 when it's slow. And for public guests, there's a peak rate of $300 in the busy season and a low of $130 when it's slow. Look, obviously, this is a pretty penny for a round of golf, regardless of who you are. Yet when compared to other top golf courses in the area and those of similar rankings, I believe this price tag is fair, if not even very good, especially when compared to playing the likes of courses like a TPC Sawgrass. One could play 2 of the 3 Streamsong courses for the price of 1 round at Sawgrass. Trust me, I can guarantee that playing here is worth the price of admission, that you won't even think twice about the cost of it. Now to my final grade of playing Streamsong Red, which, factoring in the value, the experience, and the signature holes, I give it one of my highest grades, a 9.8. There are simply no golf courses that I have played that compare to playing Streamsong Red. It's beautiful, it's so unique, and the amenities here are absolutely fantastic. Streamsong has my full recommendation. I'm already working on travel plans to get back down there to play both the blue and the black courses. Trust me, you absolutely cannot go wrong playing Streamsong, and you'll make memories that you absolutely will never forget. There you have it. Please subscribe if you found this relevant. Here's 2 other videos that I think you'll like, and as always, play well, my fellow hacks.